just a couple hours ago by Tony Astafan, QC, one of the team of lawyers representing Dr. Peterson.
You know, he says there that he doesn't want to embarrass West Indies cricket anymore. It cannot be embarrassed anymore.
Indeed.
West Indies cricket has reached a stage now where it cannot be embarrassed anymore. This situation is something which we've had before. We've been to court. We've had arbitration between the West Indies Cricket Board and the West Indies Players Association. What about the cricket? Perhaps the CEO can explain to us, for instance, how a scheduled 3-day match against a visiting team was cancelled when Sri Lanka were here early this year, when they came out and said flight problems, which was not so at all. How come a West Indies captain can make allegations and statements against umpires, against the code of conduct, and nothing be done about that? There are all sorts of things. How can matches be scheduled in places like Montserrat and St. Thomas and St. Martin, when our World Cup venues such as St. Kitts and Antigua are not being utilized? These are questions which we should be asking. These are questions which are affecting our cricket. This is something outside the cricket. This is internal board matter.
So let's go back from the incidents as they unfolded on Sunday. When you heard that Gayle had sent in his resignation as captain, did that surprise you?
Yes, it did, but he's not the first one to do it. Of course, Brian Lara did withdraw from the captaincy initially, and we understand now that Gayle has, or the report from Jamaica says that he wants to withdraw his letter of resignation. Now, when Lara initially withdrew from the captaincy, I think that was a message to the West Indies board that he was not comfortable in the job, and yet they brought him back twice. I felt it was wrong to have brought him back on those occasions. He had announced earlier that he was not comfortable with the captaincy. Let him continue batting. If Gayle now feels uncomfortable in the post, which he's indicated by his resignation, thank you very much. We'll see if you can get in the team to begin with, and if you get in the team, well, then you can continue playing.
Keith, were you surprised to hear that Gayle decided to throw in the towel?
Not at all, similarly to what Tony said, but it even becomes more laughable, Barry. If you check your email last weekend, one of the releases stated that the new selection panel, that they were to meet in Barbados at the weekend. I asked Dr. Peters this morning what's happening to the new selection panel and the meeting. He said to me, flights are a problem, and I don't think they'll meet in Barbados any longer. Worse yet, Lockhart Sebastian, who initially was in top group, has now been put forward as some research officer. And the Human Resources Committee is to deal with that, because whatever played out, where he came out on top in a so-called first ballot and then was pushed from 1 to 7. As you know, the new selection panel now with Clyde Butts and including the couple others, Robert Haynes and Rafik Jumani, with 3 alternatives. I don't know if in perhaps the 40 years or more that Tony has been covering cricket, if Tony, you've ever known of a West Indies selection panel with 3 members being named, and then you were saying these are 3 alternatives because something selectors may not be available. Unheard of as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever heard of that, but I understand the reason for it. If a selector is not available or a selector for some reason has to withdraw, you have the alternates there to come in that situation. I see nothing wrong with that at all.
When you look at Dr. Donald Peters, he has not been in the job for a very long time.
Yep.
Certainly his whole job description would have come under serious review and what he has done. How do you assess Dr. Peters' role in the last year as this new CEO?
Well, he's in a dysfunctional organization. And as you say, he's only been there for about a year. It's a very difficult role. We've seen Bruce Ananson lasted for 3 months. We've had, as I mentioned, so many CEOs. It is a dysfunctional organization. Let us look now at what the release from the board said on Monday, I think it was.
Yeah.